Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have two videos for you tonight. The first one is from Judge Raquel West at the 252nd District Court in Texas. She has a defendant in her courtroom who is pregnant and has tested positive. And so she's wondering what to do with this. And the woman is about ready to pop any day, I guess, maybe within the month. And then the second video I have is with Judge Stephanie Boyd at the 187th District Court in Texas. And she has a defendant in her courtroom who doesn't want to report the medications that he is legally prescribed. So either he's really not legally prescribed them, or for some reason he just doesn't want to report it, and who knows why. But I'll let you guys watch.
See, Crystal Moore, Mr. Lewis, cause number 23 DCCR 2026. Good morning. Are you Crystal Moore?
Yes, sir.
And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
She does, yes.
Ms. Moore, in cause number 23 DCCR 2026, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under 15. And that's from July 23rd of 2021. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they've charged you with? I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached, and this is going so slow today, is for a 2-year term in the state jail prison that would be probated for 5 years. You'd be on probation for 5 years. There would be a $1,000 fine. You would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, including a 30-day county jail time as a same condition. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Judge, if I may, on the 30-day condition, I've talked to Mr. Coleman about this. My client is pregnant and it's a high-risk pregnancy. She's already been in the hospital several times while she's been the last couple of weeks. I believe she's supposed to actually have the child on the 1st of next month at UTMB.
Okay.
So we were going to be asking if we can hold off the 30 days as condition until after she has the child, and then serve it on the weekend, since if she will have a newborn.
How long has she been in custody?
It's only been a couple of weeks because
February 12th.
Right, she went into custody as a violation of a bond petition. I think it was drug patch. That's when I was appointed on the case.
Mhm.
Judge, I know it's not the court's policy to give credit as a condition for time that's already been served. However, if the court wants to make an exception in this case,
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
So, I mean, we could do credit and then whatever. I'll just need, I mean, if she doesn't have 30 days, she's going to have to still go do some weekends unless y'all want.
Well, I think if you give credit, I think she'll only have maybe about 5 or 6 days left. So that still would have her out before her appointment if you want to handle it that way, Judge.
How much time does she, can you tell how long? Because I think if it's a condition, then it's not
No, I mean, she has 25
flat days.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so that should work then. All right. But I typically, I want a pre-sentence report. I don't have, no, but I typically do, just to see what kind of issues, especially with regard to drug treatment. If there was a positive drug patch while this was pending and a baby on the way, then I want a substance abuse evaluation. I mean, I can do that post. Do you see any other criminal history?
Yes, Judge, and that's part of the reason why we have the jail time as a condition, because I struggled with offering probation in this case. She has had a robbery probation revoked to 5 years. She did 2 years on the ag assault in 2016. She's got also some misdemeanor history, Judge. My hope was that the probation would give her an opportunity to address her substance abuse issues. The lab report in my file indicates that she was positive for alprazolam and hydrocodone, Judge. Again, I was hopeful that the probation would help her address that, but I wrestled with that offer.
And if judge, if the PSI is required, Judge, then we ask if the court would consider some type of bond relief or something so she can.
Yeah,
get out.
I don't want her to be in custody when
Right.
she has the baby, but I want the baby healthy.
Right, I understand.
If there's a drug issue, then I also have to.
One other thing I'd also want to point out, Judge, the underlying facts, at least the allegations were that her vehicle left the road and actually struck a utility pole with the child inside the vehicle. That also gave me some pauses.
Yeah, I mean, this was back in 21, so it's obviously been. Well, I mean, it didn't get indicted for, gosh, a year and a half, almost 2 years. I don't understand that. Okay. What have you been doing? You make it awfully hard when. What's the most recent one?
February 18th.
Is that something that I can get to, or you have to get to it over there? It's a lot of clicks. I feel like y'all showed me before. I mean, I guess here's where I am on this, because if I allow, we're going to get a pre-sentence report. There's the potential that if I'm going to go along with the probation, that there would be SafeP or ISF or something inpatient. And so, I mean, Ms. Moore, you need to be aware and be making arrangements potentially for your newborn to have someone else take care of them for some amount of time. I'm not saying that I'm for sure going to do that, but it sounds like you have quite a list of incident reports at the jail where you're not following the rules or whatever. But for you about to have a baby, 2 things would probably happen today. 1, I wouldn't accept this plea agreement. And 2, you definitely would not be getting out of jail. And I'm just not real sure that it's in everybody or the baby's best interest that I do let her out. What's the 8? When was that robbery?
It's 2013.
How old are you?
Ma'am,
How old are you?
I'll be 29 this year.
Well, let's do this. Hang on. Hold on. Before I forget, state tender's number 1.
No, Judge.
It's admitted. All right. Is there any evidence that Ms. Moore is not competent?
No, Judge.
Okay. What were you doing?
Before I had the misdemeanor thing, I have a CPS case, and the judge, I was taking substance abuse. He got me taking it twice a week. A part of my CPS case, parenting and anger management.
So was that Judge Freeze or Judge Shelton? You were in the drug court over there?
No, family court. Yeah.
And were you doing all of that
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
supposed to be doing?
But I got arrested when I came here.
Right. So you have another child?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
4.
And this is about to be your 5th?
Yeah. But I was going, when I caught this case, I opened the CPS case.
Right.
So,
who has custody of all of your children now?
I have a safety plan with my mom.
And she has all 4 of them?
Yeah, so She lost.
Have you tried to hurt yourself while you were in jail? You haven't? Why would they say that you have? And
When I went there, they had to take me due to my pregnancy, but I wasn't trying to hurt myself. Matter of fact, the sheriff made them take me backwards. Was the do an ultrasound, but I wasn't physically trying to hurt myself. I fell and then that's what happened.
okay. That was just a couple of weeks ago that you fell.
Mhm.
So if I let you out on either a low bond or some type of PR bond, where would you be living between now and when you go have your baby?
My mom,
And is CPS, is your plan?
I have to finish my program CPS.
I know you have to finish it, but as part of it, are they going to allow you to be there with your mom and your
Long as
kids?
it's supervision. My mom have to supervise me all the time.
Right.
And I have to do hair follicle and urine every week.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I am going to reset your case and get a pre-sentence report done. And I'm going to have a substance abuse evaluation done as part of that and see what kind of recommended treatment there is. I am going to reduce your bond pending sentencing to $1,000. And if you're able to make that, if you're not able to make that bond, if the family can't, then I need to know.
I already, when I found it out, I paid it off full. And then it was already paid off full. And then I had.
But it got raised because your drug patch was positive. So, I mean, your drug patch was positive.
You show cocaine, cocaine.
I mean, while you were pregnant. Am I right on that?
Because all my other drug patches was negative. So I didn't understand that.
This one shows negative.
You ordered a drug patch for 24 hours and that one was negative. And so I don't know if I was like around something like, and I don't understand how cocaine, that's not even.
That's not your drug of choice. What's your drug of choice when you did use?
Marijuana.
Okay. So I'm going to reduce it to $1,000. You'll have to pay it to get out if you get out. If you cannot pay that, get with your family, get with Mr. Lewis and let me know. A condition of that bond is that you have a drug patch on immediately within 24 hours. Again, obviously, if there's some issue, we'll figure it out, but you shouldn't be around anybody. I'm going to order that you're on house arrest. You don't leave the house unless you're going to doctors or to have your baby. I'm ordering, obviously, a condition of your bond is going to be that you follow all of the rules in that service plan, that you're not around the children unsupervised either. Okay. And then we'll reset it for sentencing. If you get out, you need to go to probation immediately when you get out. I want that process started so we can get that pre-sentence report done and as much possibly taken care of before you have the baby, so that we can then try to get sentencing done within, 6 weeks or so of you having the baby. So all that makes sense. Do you have any questions about what the rules are?
No, but the bond, is it still 10% or is it $12,000?
You can pay 10 you can get a bondsman still. So you should be able to pay just a couple $100 maybe to a bondsman and get out on that. That way it's low, but I need them watching the drug
Sure.
patch and making sure you're where you're supposed to be. Okay. All right. See you back at sentencing.
Hello, Mr. Herrera. Here we are. It did. Just 1 second. My computer did something weird. Yes. Oh, thank you. All right. Why is it taking you forever to provide your list of medications?
She didn't notify me that I had came out positive. I had reported to her. She
Well,
didn't.
no, let's stop right there. When the probation officer says, I want a list of your medications, it doesn't matter whether you came out positive or not. They want a list of your medications. I don't know what people don't understand. Let me explain to you something about probation. Probation is what people call being on paper. That means that your life is not your own. And you know why your life is not your own? Because when you're on probation, it's a contract. And if you violate the contract, you're looking at going to prison. So really, probation owes you no explanation when they're asking for documentation for something. So whether you had a positive UA or not, they are looking at prison. Do you understand? And when they tell you, I want your prescriptions, you need to provide your prescriptions. Do you understand? If you do not provide your prescriptions, if you do not provide what your probation officer is asking for when requested, guess what? We're not going to have this conversation anymore. What's going to end up happening is the motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand if a motion to revoke is filed, you're looking at potentially 10 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
So your actions, you need to start asking yourself, when you don't want to do something that probation is asking of you, you need to ask yourself, is this worth potentially going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, then don't do it. And guess what will end up happening? A motion to revoke will be filed. When a probation officer asks you for information, you give it. If you feel as though probation doesn't deserve to know this, you still give it, and then you come to court and you speak to Ms. Abrams or you speak to me and say, hey, probation asked for this. I gave it to them, but I don't understand why they want it. No one will explain it to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I see a list of medications that you're on. So some of these medications should fall by the wayside because the hydrocodone, that's supposed to be taken for severe cough. And I see it was refilled in November 2023. Are you still suffering from a severe cough?
No.
Okay, at some point that's supposed to end. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the ibuprofen for moderate pain, that's not supposed to be every day. I'm not a doctor, but I do know that if you take too much ibuprofen, that messes with your kidneys. So that's not supposed to be an everyday thing. And this is me as a non-doctor. Whenever a doctor wants to give people medications, and I've had family members who had medications for certain things, if you're getting ibuprofen for pain, and I see 3 times you've been given it, guess what? You need to find out what the pain is for, because ibuprofen, it doesn't cure the pain. All of this stuff just masks the problem. The problem is still there, but you just don't feel it. So you probably need to start talking to your doctor and asking what's going on if you're on these meds. Do you understand? Now, if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive for any of this? Are you still taking hydrocodone?
No.
Okay. Are you still taking ibuprofen?
No.
When's the last time you took those medications?
Last month.
All right, so you should be negative. Have you taken anything?
No,
All right, so when you're drug tested today, is it going to be negative?
it's fine.
All right, so we're going to do a drug test today. Is there anything else that you're having issues with?
No, ma'am.
Anything? Now's the time to tell me.
No.
All right, so last time it says that you were positive for opiates at the beginning of February. So
Yeah.
you should be negative, okay? So you're going to be negative. You haven't used anything.
No.
All right, just have a seat. We will do that. Are you ready to proceed, Vashawn?
Yes.
All right, Louis Herrera.
Well.
All right, why would I ask you if you're going to be positive for something? You said you would be positive for nothing.
I didn't even.
But you're positive for methadone. How can you
Yeah, I
not
don't
know?
even know what that is.
All right, Miss Abrams.
I'm telling her, I mean, I take Benadryl, like melatonin to fall asleep, but I don't know.
You can't be using any medication that is not prescribed to you while you're on probation, and methadone is a drug that has to be prescribed. So has he had a TAP evaluation?
TAP evaluation, no, Judge.
All right, what we're going to do with him is we're going to do the UA hotline, and we'll do the TAP evaluation out of custody. And I'm going to want 90 meetings from him in 90 days. So you're going to do 90 sober meetings for the court, and you're going to do those in 90 days. Sober support meetings are the AA meetings, NA meetings. They're all over town. You understand? And
The
you're going to
AA meetings.
they're similar to AA meetings, but they just call them sober support meetings now. So you're going to do 90 of those in 90 days. So every day you need to be going to a meeting. We're going to do the UA hotline. Has he previously been, Ms. Abrams, was he ever previously referred to felony drug court? All right, we're going to do a referral to felony drug court as well. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, I cannot believe the judge is doing that to me. This is a problem. You know, I don't know where I got this methadone. Here's the thing. I'm trying to help you be successful in probation. Testing positive for methadone and you don't have a prescription, guess what? That's a violation of your probation. And for that violation, you could be sent to the prison for up to 10 years in prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's going to end up happening is they're going to get a TAP evaluation for you done. You're going to be referred to felony drug court. Do not miss an appointment with felony drug court. You understand?
What is that, ma'am?
Probation is going to give you information on that, but it is one of the treatment courts, and they'll be able to help you with your drug or alcohol problem, and you need to be 100% honest with them. You understand? So don't go in front of them saying, I don't know where I got methadone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you leave here today, do not celebrate, yay, I didn't go to prison, because the last time you use may be the last time you use. Do you have a mom or family members who are currently alive? Do you have family members?
Just my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
All right. You don't want them to have to identify your body because you got a bad batch of drugs. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So just have a seat. Probation is going to go over your new conditions. All right.
So thank you guys for sticking with me tonight. What I was trying to do last night didn't work. I was hoping that people would go from one video to the next, and people didn't understand. So we're just gonna do them together like we've done them before. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. And I may start putting one out first thing in the morning again too. This space has gotten so saturated with so many little tiny creators that are just dumping videos out. They don't introduce them, they don't do anything, they just dump it. And you know, hopefully they won't get monetized because they aren't doing anything in their video. I mean, they're not doing anything. And maybe some of us that have been doing it for a while, you know, a year or more, maybe we should get together and try to figure out how we can do this best, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time.